Welcome to Money Making Conversation. I am your host, Rashawn McDonald. I always provide this thing. I always tell people this when they listen to this show. I provide you and business owners access to people that I know, people I don't know, people who believe in what I'm trying to do. That's give African Americans information that they need to win with. I recognize that we all have different definitions of success. For some, it's a sizable paycheck. Mine is helping people wake up and inspiring them to accomplish their goals and live their very best life. These are my passions, and that's what I'm going to do for you. I want you to stop tripping over small challenges and prepare to rise above bigger obstacles that life will present to you. The Money Making Conversation interviews provide relatable information to the listener about career and financial planning, entrepreneurship, motivation, leadership, overcoming the odds, and how to live a balanced life. My next guest, happy to have him back on the show, has always believed this. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That God has great plans for each of us. We must simply listen for his voice, follow directions, overcome the obstacles, and stay the course. He is the Chairman and CEO of FraserNet, Inc., a global networking movement that brings together diverse human resources to increase opportunities for people of African descent. He is also a renowned networking guru, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. Happy to have him back on Money Making Conversation. Please welcome George Fraser.
John, so good to hear you, man. I wish I had that voice. I have almost as much money as you. God, you are so blessed, man, and a beautiful mind, too, and a beautiful spirit.
I appreciate it. Good First of all, for, like I said, the thank you. I always watch you read your quotes. You came on my show, man. It was a blessing last year. And this time, I just wanted to, the event's October, right? It's still scheduled in October.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's October 14th through the 17th.
Right, it's still in Houston.
It's in Houston. It's in Houston, Rashawn. So,
now, like I said, I still got an opportunity to be there. Now, I'm not giving up.
Right.
Now, we're going
That's right.
get this crazy man out of the White House. We might be able to get this pandemic under control.
Oh, my God. Cool. So don't even go. Right.
Cool. Now, the mission of your FraserNet is to produce products and services that teach and promote excellence and effective networking to facilitate business to business, business to consumer, mentoring and role modeling for people of African descent. Now, that's important. Yes. When I hear you speak of it, because you've been doing it all your life, and I've seen it, and now I've been able to catch fire and start doing it myself because you have mentored me through direction and because that's always been a part of your DNA. Talk about it, George.
And I want to say this to our people and still below. Rashawn, we are not suffering because we cannot resolve our problems. We are suffering because we cannot see our problems clearly and distinctly. That we have been hurt more by what we don't know than by what we can't do. True. Okay? That we want progress. Black people want progress without execution. It's execution. Right. Yes, we have to protest. And even rioting has its own place in the movement. At the end of the day, when the protesting ends, you have to organize and you have to execute. Okay. Right. And that requires now knowledge. That requires knowledge that enables you to rally our people and point in the proper direction to get them inspired. But there's a beautiful passage in the Bible that all Black people know and they quote, right? And it's Hosea 4 verses 6. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Now, right. Every Black person in America knows that one. Absolutely. But what you never hear, Rashawn, is the rest of that passage. My people perish for the lack of knowledge, and because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me. So this is God telling his people, if you do not skill up, seek knowledge, improve your mind, improve your relationships, improve your ability to handle the money that I allow you to make, right? I reject you. And you cannot be no priest to me. You can't say nothing to me because you have refused to learn. This is one of the beautiful things I love about your program. You are constantly teaching knowledge and bringing knowledge keepers to the microphone to help teach and enrich our people. So this is what we are all about.
Absolutely.
At FraserNet and Fraser Nation. Someone asked me the other day, Dr. Fraser,
they need to be a t-shirt now. You know they need to be a t-shirt. Fraser Nation. FraserNet Nation.
Right.
That gotta be a t-shirt. That gotta be a cap now.
Fraser Nation, citizens of generational wealth, where our citizens are committed to demonstrated excellence, equity and investment, and entrepreneurial thinking, Rashawn. I didn't say entrepreneurship. I said entrepreneurial thinking. That is taking responsibility, taking ownership, and for your own life. That's really what we need. And once we begin to think that way, Rashawn, then that can morph into entrepreneurship, and then that can morph into building and creating work and jobs for our people. Because by the end of the 21st century, Black people have to be the number one employer of Black people. Absolutely. And every immigrant group that has ever come to this country, Rashawn, has understood that for Black people. Jews are the number one employer of Jews. Asians are the number one employer of Asians. East Indians are the number one employer of East Indians. Arabs are the number one employer of Arabs. Ultimately, we too must become the number one employer of our people. But that requires knowledge. That requires sacrifice. You know, it's a little piece that I do all the time is don't quit your job until. That's what it's called. Don't quit your job until your side income covers twice as much as your monthly expenses. Yes. Don't quit your job until your emergency fund can cover 1 year of expenses.
That's right.
Don't quit your job until you are skilled enough to make your side hustle your main business. And don't quit your job until you're ready to work 12 to 16 hours a day. Amen. Like you and I do.
Absolutely. Amen. You know, I'm going to tell you something, George. I appreciate it. You know, I just love the fact that there's always a sense of direction when you talk. And when I say that, I look at the pandemic, and there's bad of the pandemic because of the fact that it overtly affects African Americans, the COVID-19. What I also see now is that it is a wake-up call to technology.
Yes.
For Black people. Because especially in the restaurant world, you know, deciding to just be in dining only facilities, not using Uber and not using that and then DoorDash and all these things and to go practices were not built out in other areas. Now talk to us about that, because I know I had to change my game. You know, when I had to become a Zoom oriented company. I didn't just stop and just started crying. I had to use technology. Otherwise I would have been ineffective. So talk about that, because that's what you're talking about. You were talking that before the pandemic, and now it is raising its ugly head during the pandemic.
See, I love that. I love the way you frame that up. So let's think about that for just a minute. So COVID-19 now has us homeschooling, praying, spending time with family, praying for others, and being sober-minded. Now, that sounds like God is in charge. This isn't a plague. This isn't a pandemic. This is an awakening, Rashawn. That's what we are into right now. Right. If our brothers and sisters haven't noticed by now that 2020 was designed for you to get back in touch with your soul and raise your consciousness so that you can elevate your life. This will be known, 2020 will be known as before George Floyd and after George Floyd. The three things that God put in line, the three things that God put in line to get us in line. He gave us Trump plus COVID plus George Floyd.
Yes.
Those three things together changed our world. Right? And if we don't understand what the opportunities are for us now post George Floyd, shame on us. Right? So our job, your job, my job as leaders in the community, you have a powerful voice. You have a powerful platform. I listen to you at least 3 to 4 times a week, right? In various platforms that you're on, whether your stuff is on YouTube, whether it's on some other distribution system over social media, whether stuff that you're posting up. But that's what you're doing. You're leading. You're leading. You are a voice of change. You are a voice of power. You are a voice of giving our people specific directions and things to do. Right. That's what we have to do. Yes. And that's what you have to do. There's another little piece I always talk to Black people about, because Dr. Fraser, what would you be doing? What would you be? I said, but listen, Let me give you three very simple financial rules that will give you financial freedom. These are simple rules. Your rent or your mortgage should be less than what you make in a week. Your rent or mortgage should be less than what you make in a week. Most of us are house poor. We buy too much house for not enough monthly income, right? So that's number one. Your rent or mortgage should be less than what you make in a week. Number two, only borrow money to make more money. That's what the banks do. Number three, as your income increases, your cost of living should decrease or stay the same, right? So those are three things. You follow those three simple rules, you're going to find financial freedom, right? So we have to stop this notion of spending more than we earn. We must, or even spending all that we earn. We must spend less than we earn and invest the rest if you're going to have any kind of financial freedom in your lifetime. One of the baddest habits that Black people have when it comes to money is our addiction to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Let me say that another way.
Right.
I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it, right? You think you're winning. That ain't winning. Right? Louis Vuitton is winning. Nike is winning. Armani is winning.
$5,000 bag, a plastic bag with $5,000 in it, versus a $5,000 Louis Vuitton, which is depreciated, with $100 in it. Okay,
That's right.
I got you, brother. I got you. Let's just go and make it cleaner. Okay, a plastic bag with $5,000 in it. That's one value. Then you have a Louis Vuitton bag with that plastic bag in it. Okay, in it. Let's go make it clean. Let's go make it clean, Dr. Fraser. That's clean.
That's right.
That's right. Because that's what you're dealing right there. You're dealing with a depreciated item versus a valued item, but because we are caught up into aesthetics. Oh, well, look at what I got. Look at what I drive. Look at what I wear. But that $5,000 in the bank, that $5,000 invested in the right stock will grow. While that bag, that Louis Vuitton bag, it may be flossing. It may make you look good, but it devalues every time you take it out the house.
That's right. And we'll cover this when we cover the principles of the seven main streams of income, right? The seven main streams of income, and a Black person need to be doubling their streams of income every single year. That's one of the things we teach at the Power Networking Conference. If you come with a single stream of income, we teach you how to have two. If you come with two streams of income, we teach you how to have four. If you come with four streams of income, we teach you how to have 8. Okay, but there's 7 fundamental streams of income. But let me say this first. Black people are in an existential crisis. We are in an existential crisis. Until a Black America puts Black America first, Black America will always be last. To be Black and beautiful means nothing unless you're Black and powerful. Okay? White folks are planning for 3 generations, and we're planning for Saturday night. The goal is to win, not to look like we're winning. Right? It is interesting to me, Rashawn, that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. What's up with that? Right? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. So we have to fix that mindset.
And we will.
You see?
Now, just before you say anything, this is what I heard the first break, was that normally I have a very popular thing I do on my Facebook on Mondays. It's called Monday Morning Motivation. And I only do that with my signature on it. I don't grab anybody. I don't grab Oprah or Harriet Tubman quote. It's all Rashawn. Because I would feel something. If you're going to teach somebody, teach it from the knowledge that you have developed or you're building. Now that first break. Now you have a conference October 14th through the 17th, starting on Monday p.m. in the month of September. Every one of those nuggets that you dropped in my interview with you today, I'm going to turn them into motivational cards letting people know who you are and inspiring them and also encouraging them to register every Monday starting in the month of September. I'm letting you know that, George. I got to do it for you because what you did, man, I was listening. I was like a sponge diving in an ocean, brother. I said, it's no way, it's no way I can let that knowledge just sit on a podcast or sit on my syndicated radio network. I got to let this be showcased because people tend to share that information. When they see a great quote, they'll share it. And then I don't know who else may share from them. So for the month of September in the PM on Mondays, and I'm going to let you know when I start because I'm going to share it to you. I'm going to say, look, I'm doing it just like I told you. We're going to promote the fact that your conference is October 14th in my hometown of Houston, Texas. Tell us about the PowerNet.
Well, the Power Networking Conference is now in its 19th year. And we were in Houston last year. We're going to be in Houston this year. We're going to be in Houston next year. So we say at least 3 years in a major urban center like Houston, one of the 5th largest urban centers in America.
Absolutely.
The Power Networking Conference was selected by Forbes magazine as one of the top 5 conferences in America not to be missed. Not one of the top 5 black conferences, but one of the top 5 of all conferences produced in this country not to be missed. We cover only 2 subjects, Rashawn. That is business development and wealth creation. That's what we cover. Those are the, as far as I'm concerned, for the 21st century, that's all Negroes need to be talking about.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because the first level of progress of any group is economic progress, right? And then, as Dr. Claude Anderson has taught us all for the last 30 years, you use your economic power, your economic progress, right, to move to the political level where you use your money to buy, rent, and lease politicians, all right, to get laws changed in your favor. If you ask any honest politician, what would they want from you, your vote or your money? An honest politician would say, give me your money and I will get your vote. Okay. It took $1 billion for Barack Hussein Obama to become president. Where you think he got that money from and what did they want for the money? Right. They wanted favor. They wanted laws changed, regulations changed in their favor as a return on their investment in the political system. That's how it works. It's economics first. That's where we are. That's what we're talking about. How to make you great, how to make you wealthier, how to make you have more successful businesses, right? And then we provide you the financial education, the financial literacy necessary for you to understand the machinations of capitalism and how to leverage that, right? And how to build your own, what I call Black Wealth Checklist. It's real simple. A Black Wealth Checklist. What is it, Dr. Fraser? Well, simple. Tomorrow, deposit $100, just $100, into a high interest savings account. Okay, because money attracts money. So just put $100. If you don't have a high interest savings account, just go put $100 in and watch the magnetism of you investing that $100 in a savings account is calling for more money, and that's going to seed you to have better saving habits. That's number one. Number two, buy 5 shares of stocks from a brokerage account. Okay, we Black people, on a percentage basis, have the lowest number of people in our community investing in stocks and bonds and mutual funds. All kinds of studies have been done on that. Now, you say, well, Dr. Fraser, what stock should I buy? Well, whatever you eat, whatever shoes you wear, you wear Nikes, buy some Nike stock. You eat McDonald's, buy some McDonald's stock. Whatever you're using, buy the stock.
You buy nails from Home Depot? Buy Home Depot stock.
Come on, Home Depot, right? There ain't no better time right now than to buy some stock. So we're putting together your Black Wealth list. Now, open a 401k if you don't already have one, or a 401(b) or an IRA, and try to calculate how to retire with $1 million by time you're the age 60, and ask your employer to match what you put in. Most employers will do that. Just start it if you haven't already started. Now, maybe you've already started something like that. All right. Figure out how much you're going to have to continue to put in over what period of time so that you'll have at least $1 million by time you are 60 or ready to retire. Now, another thing. Now, I don't want to tell you that we got bad credit. All right. So pull your credit report, brothers and sisters, and plan on how to raise your score at least by 20 points every 6 months. All right. Until you get over 700, right? Because we know that the lower your credit score is, anything you buy, you are going to pay the highest interest rates on the planet. Whether it's your credit cards, whether you're buying a new home, whatever, whether you're buying a new car, you want to get your credit right? And it may take you a year or two, but that is going to save you more money over the long haul than almost any single thing that you can do. Now, Number 6, building a Black Wealth checklist here.
Right.
Okay. Checklist. I want you, brothers and sisters who are listening, I want you to pay about $50 above your minimum on your credit cards and your student loans. That means that you can reduce the payoff period when you do this by at least 25 to 30%.
Because you're actually paying the interest right there. You pay that $50 is the interest.
There you go. That's right. There you go. There you got it. That's right. So this is now number 6. Research term and whole life insurance and decide what's best for you. You get a brother or sister who's in the insurance business. It's one of the 4 pillars for the intergenerational transfer of wealth. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. One of the 4 pillars, Rashawn, is proper insurance. 60% of all wealth is transferred through tactical and strategic placement of proper insurance. The New York Times did a major article on Black people and their cell phones, and what they discovered about us is that there were more Black people that had insurance on their cell phones than on their lives or the lives of their children by a factor of 10. So we value our cell phones more than we value our lives. Get properly insured so that you can transfer your wealth when it's time tax-free using insurance strategies. Very, very important. Now, number 7. Open a Roth IRA for your child, or open a 529 college plan for your child so it can be used to pay for college if you want to, or you can use it to pay for trade school or community college, right? Put some money away for your child's education. Open it up now if you have not done that. I'm down to the last 2. Gift a U.S. Treasury bond to new babies in your family.
That was something. Let's slow down on that. When we were growing up,
there you go.
$25 savings.
That's right,
dude.
That's right.
That was part of the MO. Your parents bought that for you. I don't care if you was in the hood or out of the hood.
That's right. It worked then, and it still works. All right, a $25. Now, what I did for I have 2 granddaughters. I have 3 granddaughters. I have 2 beautiful sons. It blessed me with 3 beautiful granddaughters. The moment they were born, Rashawn, I purchased them an Index Universal Life policy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nora Jean and I pay for those policies every month. It costs us about $60 a month for each of our grandchildren. And by time they retire, this is the God's honest truth. This is no hype, no exaggeration. By time my 3 granddaughters retire, they will have $5 million available to them tax-free.
Yes.
Tax-free.
That's absolutely the truth.
Okay. Absolutely. So that's another thing. So either give your grandchildren a savings bond, but give them something and let them know that it's there. Right, that can begin to seed their desire to want to see it grow, and the desire to save, and the desire to invest in, and finally, start every year. You should start a new stream of income. There should not be a Negro in America with a single stream of income. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, you have learned that since COVID-19. Okay, so
Absolutely.
what should you be doing during COVID-19? You should be skilling up. That's what you should be doing. You should be skilling up. You should be learning new strategies and tactics around investment. That's what we teach at the Power Networking Conference. Most importantly, we teach what we call the 7 income streams. There's 7 fundamental income streams. Now, you can have multiple.
And there are 4 different registration platforms, right, George? There's 4 different. That's the regular registration, the student registration, the VIP registration, and the ultra VIP registration. This is all going down October 14th through the 17th in Houston, Texas, my hometown.
Right. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So if we have 3 minutes, I can tell.
Do your thing.
Audience.
I want to just say this, add additional, glow to it. You meet over 50 plus global network of Black overachievers ready to share their wealth of knowledge with you. You meet millionaires, potential partners, investors, and to build your network, and there are workshop speakers as well. So I just want to let everybody know there are nuggets. The visionary behind all this is Dr. George Fraser, but the conference works because of the gems that you the relationships you're able to build, and the ability to understand that you're not alone in this quest to be great, especially if you're African descent. Your turn there, Dr. Fraser. I just let you know, I love your brand. Let me just promote it just a little bit for you. That's all.
I love you. God bless you. It's always better, Rashawn. It's always better when someone else is saying it rather than you saying it, because it seems self-serving. But I love you for that. Thank you so much. I just went through a little short list on how to get wealth. Now let's go through a real short list on how to give wealth, right? How to give wealth, because we're morally grounded, spiritually rooted people, and we know that much is given, much is expected, and much is required. How do you give wealth? Buy from a Black-owned business, right? Dine at a Black-owned restaurant. Get your nails and hair done at a Black salon. Hire Black vendors for your events, okay? Buy your hair products from a Black-owned business. Buy from a Black author. Some brother or sister has written a book. Buy the damn book, all right? Buy from your friend's business. Why not, right? Tithe at a Black church. Volunteer at a Black-led nonprofit. Tell a Black man that you're proud of them. Tell a Black child that they're destined for greatness. Tell a Black woman she is necessary, and donate to a historically Black college and university. That's how you give wealth. But you do it all within the context of your ability to give, right? Absolutely. No, so that's how you give wealth. Now you know how to get wealth. That's a short checklist on each one of those things. Each year you can write this down. When you hear this recording, stop it and then write it down and then check and play it back. There you go. Play it back. Right. Now, 7 streams of income. You should have in your lifetime, you should be able to accumulate wealth using at least 4 of these streams. What is the first stream of income? Earned income. That's income from working from a job. But you can actually earn 2 streams of income from working from a job if you're working 2 different jobs. Okay, that's number 1. There's profit income from buying and selling stuff. In America, 2 things are going on 24/7. Somebody's buying and somebody's selling. We're doing all the damn buying. We are the consumption class. They are the merchant class. They make stuff. We buy stuff. Stop that, brothers and sisters, right? If you bake cookies, put them in a box, put your name on it, and sell it to somebody. If you live on a farm, take the manure, put it in a bag, put your name on it, and sell it to somebody. You could become an entrepreneur, but stop doing all the damn buying and do some selling. That's profit income. Right. 3rd is interest income from lending money. 4th is dividend income from owning stocks and bonds and mutual funds. The 5th one is rental income. I made my first fortune income from renting a house. I had 7 of them. They were 2 and 3 family homes on one block in the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio. Back in the day, in the 70s, I made a fortune. I bought them for pennies on a dollar, kept them for 10 or 15 years, turned them into Section 8, but first class Section 8 and made a fortune and then sold them back to the renters. Number 6 is capital gain, assets from increasing in value, not the Louis Vuitton bag because it doesn't increase in value. Not the car that you just bought, because if you bought a car and you turned around to sell it back to the dealer, he will not pay you what you just bought it for. The same thing with diamonds, okay? Buy some diamonds and then go back to the same store and try to sell them the next day and see what you get for it, all right? So you want assets that are increasing in value, that's capital gains. And finally, royalty income, that's income from others using your ideas, whether it's books, whether it's music, whether it's online webinars, that kind of thing.
My man, I appreciate you. You know, this is a journey of knowledge, journey of information. Starting September, you'll be able to hear some of these amazing quotes, see some of these amazing quotes on motivational cards. I'll be posting on my at Rashawn McDonald. I got over 800,000 followers. So his message will be sold. His message will be branded and will be driving everybody to the October 14th through the 17th in Houston, Texas for the Power Networking Conference. Again, 18 years going strong, going into number 19. We're going to do it again in 2020. Dr. George.
That's right. Go to powernetworkingconference.com. Have them go to powernetworkingconference.com. You can find out everything you want to know about the conference. www.powernetworkingconference.com.
Appreciate you, brother. We talk soon, okay? And you will hear from me soon. And plus, I got to bring you back the last week in September so we can drive their last bit of people to the conference. You know you got to come back. Come on now.
Let's do it.
You got a lot to talk about because you don't believe what I'm going to do. You're not going to believe what I'm going to do. I'm about to blast you, George Fraser, Dr. George Fraser.
God bless you. God bless you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you, man. Keep doing God's work.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. If you want to hear more interviews or all the interviews about Money Making Conversation, please go to moneymakingconversation.com. I'm Rashawn McDonald. I'm your host.